First of all, what a fight. I think it exceeded all of our expectations. Petr Yan, as always, showed up to fight, but the fact that this decision was so close says something about O'Malley. It says we all have underestimated him. It says that he has performed much better than anyone else expected. Because don't get it wrong, this fight wasn't close because Yan fought badly. Yan fought as he always fights. What happened is Sean O'Malley showed up and he showed up to fight. But the question still remains, was this a robbery? Well, if you look at the scorecards, it seems that all three judges agree on rounds 2 and 3. They all agreed that round 2 goes to Petr Yan and round 3 goes to Sean O'Malley. And to be honest, I agree with them on that. For example, think about it. Round 2, even though Sean O'Malley had his great moments, it was Petr Yan who came back after getting hurt. Likewise, in round 3, even though striking looked somewhat close, Sean O'Malley outstruck Petr Yan and did more significant damage. I mean, look how he cut him up. He cut up his face with the knee. Petr Yan was bleeding bad in round 3. So yes, I agree with this. But this means that the only disputed round is round number 1, and that is the round which will decide the winner of this fight. So let's discuss round 1, and if when we decide who won round 1, we will decide was this fight a robbery. Just to remind you what counts according to UFC rules when you're scoring a round. First and foremost, it's effective striking. So who strikes better, who has more strikes, who deals more damage with their strikes. If strikes are even, then they score effective grappling, and then they score the octagon control and aggression. So these are the criteria that we will think about when we look at the first round. So firstly, what about striking in the first round? I mean, no matter which way you look at it, it was pretty even. It was pretty even on the numbers, it was pretty even on the damage. And yes, Sean O'Malley had 2 more total strikes, but that is not significant, right? 2 more strikes out of 20 or something, it's not that significant, unless those strikes dealt a lot of damage. However, in this case, none of the athletes did much more damage than the other one. They didn't cause much bruising, they didn't cause a great reaction out of the other athletes. So striking, I think we can all agree, if we rewatch the round and look at the statistics, was pretty dead even with the striking. Then let's look at the grappling. What about effective grappling? Well, obviously in this round there was only one takedown, and that takedown came from Petr Yan. And I mean, it was a pretty damn good takedown. And I heard judges score takedowns like that more because it was very violent. It was very dominant the way he slammed him on the ground. And then that takedown led to a few minutes of ground control time, and it also led to a few strikes which were not crazy significant. But look, this takedown still led to all these things, to control, to strikes, so that takedown definitely does count, and it was the only takedown of the round. It is true that O'Malley also took Yan's back, but he didn't manage to control Yan. He was on his back for maybe 2 seconds, didn't manage to establish control, so most definitely grappling in this round goes to Petr Yan. After that, if we look at octagon control and aggression, I mean, it was definitely Petr Yan. Like, he was always pushing Sean O'Malley back, whether it was into his takedowns, into his strikes. There were very far and few in between moments where Petr Yan was moving back in this round. He was pushing Sean O'Malley, landing middle kicks, landing punches, also receiving punches and blocking them, but he was the one that was controlling the octagon, that was pushing the action. So most definitely, octagon control and aggression goes to Petr Yan. So looking at all of this, I think we can conclude that this fight's decision was not correct. I think Petr Yan should have won this fight, and he should have won especially considering the circumstances of this fight and what was at stake. I mean, it's a fight for the number 1 contender spot. He's fighting someone 10 rankings below him. There was so much at stake, and that a mistake like this wasn't really tolerable. Even though the decision was wrong, according to me and according to many other fight fans, please don't blame O'Malley. I saw people giving shit to O'Malley. Like, don't do it, guys. It's not his fault. He had a fight scheduled, he showed up, and he showed up to fight, and he did his job. It was not his fault that the judges made the decisions they did. And I just have to say how much I dislike the term robbery. I mean, I use the term sometimes because everyone else uses it, but come on, don't call this a robbery. It's a bad decision. It's not a robbery. Robbery means you take something that the other person has or had or deserves. But listen, the winner of the fight is whoever the judges say is the winner of the fight. We can say it's a bad decision by the judges, we can complain all we want, but objectively the winner of the fight is someone who the judges give the victory to. And that was Sean O'Malley. So he didn't rob Petr Yan, he didn't come to gunpoint and take his victory away. Look, we can call it a bad decision, but when you say that Petr Yan got robbed, I mean, I don't like the term. It sets a very, let's say, ugly precedent. I don't like it. So let's just say the decision wasn't right, and that's it. So guys, let me know in the comments, do you agree with me? Do you think O'Malley won or do you think Yan won, and why? Please let me know. I always value your input. As always, like, share, subscribe for more videos to support the channel, and thank you everyone. Peace.